welcome back to my channel. My name's Kimmy. Today I wanted to fuse together a couple of different topics that my sister and her daughter suggested I film a video on. First off, going over some of my old makeup loves, things that I've loved for a really long time or things that I used to love a long time ago. And then also my niece suggested that I recreate a look that I found on Instagram. So I'm going to be recreating a couple of different looks, kind of fusing them together from a couple of my favorite makeup artists on Instagram. The first being Linda Hallberg and the other one is Katie Jane Hughes. I'm going to input a little picture of what I plan on fusing together here. So Linda has a very dramatic wing and then a little inner corner wing as well to kind of give that extravagant cat eye look. And then Katie's looks are all about that dewy, glowy, glass-like skin. So I really wanted to kind of fuse those together and come up with a look based off of those. And then as we're doing that, I'm just gonna do a full face of products that I've loved for a really long time, kind of the older products that I've had in my collection. Now, keep in mind, I do go through my collection and kind of get rid of things that have gone bad pretty often, so I don't really have things that I've had for that long. A few of these products I have had for years, but they don't smell or make my skin react as if they've gone off. So I think these ones are okay to use, and then I'll just kind of discuss things that I may have liked maybe in high school or something like that. So let's get into it. Since we are doing a dramatic wing, I'm definitely gonna do my eyes first, but I do wanna get my brows done as well. So I'm gonna do that real quick. I am gonna use my soap brows because I don't have a brow gel that I used to use a long time ago. I really liked using the L'Oreal brow gel. I really liked how skinny the spoolie was, and it did hold my brows in place really good too. And the Maybelline had one as well that had a really funky, like short and fat brow gel. I used to use that too. And then there was a dupe from Essence. They duped the Gimme Brow by Benefit. That one's also really good too. So now I'm just gonna use my soap brows like normal, and then I'll go into a brow pencil that I've loved for a really long time. Okay, so a brow pencil that I used to love a few years ago that I still have in my collection is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer. So this is the one that's kind of a triangle shape. I don't know if you can see that. It's thicker and wider and has a little point at the tip. And so I like this because I do have thicker brows, and so this just made it really easy to fill them in. Back then when I first got this, I did like a more structured brow. Now I go for a more fluffy and effortless brow. So I haven't used this in a long time, so it's gonna be interesting to use this today. That actually looks pretty good. So something I'm noticing about this pencil is it's better for kind of a softer approach to your brows. I feel like I can just see it right in here, whereas what I've been doing lately with just the soap brows and maybe a tinted brow gel or this Sculpt and Boost by Iconic London, that just kind of creates more hair-like strokes, and this is just so, since it's so thick, it's creating more of a soft effect, which isn't necessarily what I'm going for anymore. So it's not a bad product, it's just not really the look that I'm going for today. Okay, getting into the eyes. Since Katie had kind of a soft, kind of soft definition in her crease. That's what I'll be going for my crease, and then I'll work on the wing. To prime my lids, what I'll also be using for concealer is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This has been beloved in the beauty community for so long now. When this came out, it just revolutionized the concealer game, where it was so full coverage, so pigmented, yet pretty lightweight. It's really great. You really only need the tiniest little bit. However, nowadays, I recognize that I have really dry skin, so if I use too much of this, it just makes my eyes look so crinkly and gross. So I do only use a tiny little bit of this, and then normally mix it in with a more hydrating concealer to give my eyes some extra boost and love. Something else that I used to love a really long time ago, and I still love, I would still pick it up today, is the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. That stuff is fantastic. It's a go-to. It's never gonna steer you wrong. It's it covers enough, and it's hydrating, and it's just fantastic. So if you're in the market for a more low-end drugstore concealer, definitely try that out if you haven't already, because it's just perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna put a little 2 dots on of the sharp. Wow, I'm gonna put a couple dots on my lids to prime them. That's seriously all you need. Blend that out with my little sponge. Okay, and then for eyeshadow, I have had this palette for, God, I don't know, since BoxyCharm first came out. This is the first thing I got from my BoxyCharm. This is the Studio Makeup On The Go eyeshadow palette. Does it have a name? I don't know that it has a name. I have 2. I have a more cool tone one, and I also have this beautiful warm tone one. This coppery shade is fabulous. The black is super black and pigmented, and then this highlighter shade is just fabulous. I love this so much. It's truly amazing. So I'm going to go in with the matte white shade, my matte cream shade, and just kind of put that all over my lid just to give myself a nice little base to work off of. Starting from the brow bone, bringing it down. Next, just to give myself some nice little definition into my crease, I'm gonna go in with this neutral brown here in the middle. And just start working that into my crease. On a slightly more precise blending brush, I'm going to mix the 2 lighter browns, this one and this one, and just continue working these into the crease. And then for even more detail, I'm going to go in very lightly into this darker brown and mix it with the neutral brown on a more precise blending brush. I'm just going to tuck this into my outer corner very lightly, bringing it into the crease. I'm not going for a super dramatic crease look. I'm just trying to define my eye. Like so. All right, so you've got that soft definition down. It's time to start working on that wing. So they were both using a more shadow wing, so that's perfect. So I can just use that black that we've got in the palette. And I'm going to find a little liner brush. Okay, so I've been using this brush for a very, very long time. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills No. 7 brush. Do you see how itty bitty tiny this is? This is fabulous for winged liner. So it's supposed to be a brow brush. See, it's got the spoolie on there. But I love it for for wings because it's so precise and tiny. So what I used to use for liner, I used to use a black eyeliner, black eyeshadow, but also the Maybelline gel pot. That was fabulous. I used to use it all the time. But today we're just gonna go with the black in the palette, and I'm going to try and start on the inner corner. Just getting a tiniest little bit amount, and I'm gonna follow the line of my lid, of my upper lid. And just place the tiniest little bit there. Like so. It's the tiniest little detail. But you see how it just kind of worked on that little cat eye, fox eye effect? And now for the outer wing. So coming from my lower lid, angling towards my brow bone. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like this for now because it looks good before I try and make it bigger. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side now. But here's what we're looking like right now. It's a pretty good wing, gotta say. This brush is key, I gotta say. All right, that's about as thick as I dare to get. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the edges now. I'm just gonna use a little eye cream. Another angled brush. Dipping that in there lightly. All right. Foxy. Okay. Eyes are done. Now it's time to move on to the face. So, forever ago, I used to really love a few different smoothing primers. So the first one I got was the NYX Angel Veil. That was fabulous. It was so lightweight and just really smoothed over your skin so nicely. I also really liked the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This is another smoothing primer, so I'm going to use a tiny little bit of this since I still have a tiny little bit. This came as like a sample with a Sephora order. So take a little tiny bit of that, and I'm just going to smooth that onto my nails, onto my... So these are one of those like silicone primers. I don't love them super much because I don't think silicone's very good for your skin, but it does make your face look so smooth. Okay, what else did I used to like? That's about it. That's all I can think of. Now for foundation, my two favorite foundations from a really long time ago were the Maybelline Fit Me. I liked both the matte and poreless and the dewy one. I haven't tried the original, but I did like both of the other two kinds. And then also the Makeup Forever HD foundation. That was so good. I love that so much. I was so sad to have to get rid of it because it was starting to smell crazy. The oldest one that I have in my collection that's still good is a Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. It's kind of a dupe for the Makeup Forever HD Stick Foundation, a little bit similar to that, and it's pretty good. So I like this because I can make it really lightweight. So I take it on, I just can take it onto my foundation brush, words, rather than like smearing it on your face. This helps give a more lightweight skin-like finish. I really don't like full coverage anymore. Back in the day I definitely did. A few years ago I was struggling with really bad acne, and now that my face is cleared up for the most part, I don't feel the need for really heavy coverage. So that looks like it just nicely evened out my skin tone. Okay, now back to the concealer. I'm a little nervous putting this on my under eyes. I feel like it's gonna look really crazy. If I feel like I need more hydration, I will mix in a different concealer because I just need it. So I'm just doing teeniest amount, and I'm just gonna use my finger, and then I'll go back in with a sponge. I don't know if you guys can see how crepey it's already made my under eyes. It like ages you, it's so dry. That's okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go in and mix it with my Pretty Vulgar Undercover concealer. This stuff is so nice. It's so creamy and hydrating. And my eyes need it so bad. Okay, now going with the sponge. Ew. My eyes are gonna look so dry today. Gross. Okay, now a powder that I've used for so long, seriously, one container will last you forever unless you literally bake like crazy every day, is the RMS No Color powder. I don't have, the packaging is tucked away in storage right now because it's just, I put it into this little container because the weird spice container that it comes in is just odd. So I'm gonna set lightly. Like so. And then for bronzer, I've also had this since probably my first Foxy charm, and somehow it doesn't seem like it's gone off. This is the Temptu Shimmer Bronzer. It's a liquid bronzer. I love this so much. It's down to here, and I use it fairly often, but you really only need like a little pea-size amount. I'm gonna take a little bit of that on my skin. Like, look, that's all you need. I'm going to work it into my brush, and just first kind of dab it where I want it. All right, bronzed and glowing. Now for, let's do highlight first. So, Jaclyn Hill, the queen of highlight, when she came out with the glorious Champagne Pop, the beauty industry just died. Look how gorgeous that is. You can almost see the pan coming out. When I ordered this, I nearly peed myself when it came in the mail because, I mean, we were all so obsessed with her, and she just revolutionized highlighting. She just made it the cool thing to do, and set the makeup industry on a rampage for highlight. So this is the most incredible and blinding highlight. I really wish I had better lighting and camera to show you better, but alas, I don't. This is still one of my favorites because it's just perfect. It's the OG. It's amazing. And just beyond. It's beyond. It's so good. And then for blush, I have the Milani Luminoso Baked Blush. This is a cult favorite for drugstore blush. It's just so beautiful. I don't know if this is the original formula. I know they reformulated it. I've had it forever, so could be. I'm gonna take this on a little angled brush. This is the brush that I used to use for blush a long time ago. Oh! How pretty. Gorgeous. And then for a little bit of extra glow, because why not? This powder is the most beautiful powder ever. This is the Hourglass Luminous Light. It's the most glorious setting powder, finishing powder, highlight, however you want to use it. I'm going to put it underneath my eyes, blending it with the Becca. I'm just gonna put it a little bit of everywhere. And then I'm gonna put a little bit on the lid of my eye. The lid of my eye, the eyelid. Lid of my eye. Odd word choice. Just for a little hint of something, something there. And then I'm going to take the tiniest bit of the champagne pop onto my inner corner as well. And then I don't still have my most favorite mascara from forever ago. In high school, I really loved the Maybelline Lash Stiletto. I really want to pick that up again because I loved that so much. But then also the Most Perfect Lash Sensational by Maybelline. That too is just always a favorite, always a go-to. I did get the CoverGirl Exhibitionist just to try something new because I just kept going back to the Lash Sensational for years and years and years. I just wanted to try something new. So I'm going to finish this up and with some mascara, and we'll come back for the lip. And then I almost forgot. Mascara is on. I have been using this Rimmel Exaggerate Waterproof Eye Definer in the nude color since high school. I have always loved this. This is so great to put in your inner corner or your waterline and just brighten up your eyes and make you look more awake. It's fabulous. Stays all day. and it just opens up your eyes like crazy. All right, now for lips. The NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams were my entry into liquid lipsticks. These are so fabulous. They're so affordable. This is in the shade Monte Carlo. This is a gorgeous red. And I'm gonna put it on for you guys. Classic, classic red. Love this stuff. They're super lightweight. Something I like to do with them is just kind of blur them out, but today we're going for a defined red lip. And then to set this all down, the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. This has been a love of mine for so long. In high school, we didn't have setting sprays. Man, that would have made such a huge difference. And this is the final look. This was so much fun, and I really love how it turned out. This looks so glam and gorgeous. I love it. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I hope to see you next time. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I would really appreciate it. It really does help me out. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!